Hello everyone, this is John from RPGs and More. And in tonight's video, I want to talk to you about a Kickstarter that I have backed for the Eldritch RPG 2nd edition that has 14 days left and is at 90% funded. And I want to make this video in the hopes that I can maybe entice some of you to give it a look and see if we can get it up over to that 100% funded portion, because that would be awesome. But, all right, full disclosure, Mr. Cross, the author of the Eldritch RPG 2nd edition, did give me a free PDF with my name on it of the rules in order for me to take a look at it and make videos like this about it. So I have received something, and I won't lie to you about that. But I also have put my own money on the line by backing this Kickstarter to the hilt. So I think the two things ought to balance each other out a little bit. You can be your own judge, but just we're going full disclosure here. Now, who is Daniel Cross, and why should you care? Well, that's a fair question. Not a lot of people probably have heard of this author, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a tiny itty bit of background here. My first introduction to Daniel Cross's work was when I was first introduced to Eldritch RPG. I want to say almost 10 years ago now. It's been a while. Maybe only 8 years. But anyway, it's been a while. Excuse me. And his work is fun. Excuse me again. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. The game system itself is kind of a combination of a die step system and a die pool system, because you are using the D4, D6, D8, D10, and D12 dice, so die step, because the better your ability score, the higher the die you can roll for it. All right. And then you also have not just your standard abilities, but also your focuses and your specializations. And each one of those is another die. So you can roll for one thing. You can have like your D8 in your ability, a D6 in your focus, and a D12 in your specialization. Something like that. And you're rolling 3 dice, so it's kind of like a dice pool thing. It's really fun. It's very, very easy to understand. It can be very dynamic. And because it has that kind of dice pool-esque resolution, it also gives you a little bit of that bell curve there, which I'm a fan of. I love bell curves. Okay, so who is Mr. Cross? Well, I'm not going to go into everything that I know, because a lot of that, people have their lives. But what is important for gaming-wise, some of you might recognize this book. And for those of you that don't, this is Gary Gygax's World Builder Guidebook that was published by Trollord Games way back in the days of 3rd edition. Oh, back in the day. Oh, laddie boy, back in the day of 3rd edition, when the big books were coming out from Trollord Games, and they were telling us all the things we needed to know about how to run our RPGs. All right, so Trollord Games did this whole series. Gary Gygax's, and there's the Book of Names, there's the World Builder, there's, Canting Crew, and another book whose name I can't pronounce because I never quite understood it myself. Anyway, so Dan Cross is the other author credited for the World Builder, Gary Gygax and Dan Cross. So those of you who are kind of OSR fanatics, or fans, like myself, That's a pedigree that you can kind of look at and say, well, maybe we have, if this guy worked with Gary Gygax, not just on this book, but on another one in this same series, then clearly there's a cool connection there, and it's fun, and it tells me that, you know, Dan has been at this for a long time, and he knows what he's doing. All right. That is made clear by the fact that he has actually done, you know, Eldritch RPG for a very long time, and it's been a fun game system, and it's been really fun to watch it change and develop over time. So the current game, the current PDF, let's talk about that real quick. And I will say that it is gorgeous. It is beautiful. The layout of the pages is very crisp and clean. There's not a whole lot of fussy little details. There's some margin stuff, which is fun. Not enough to get in the way, but enough to kind of give pages flavor. There isn't a background image behind the text, but amazingly enough, I have found so far, it has not created a problem with reading at all, which is really impressive because most of them do. This one hasn't. So, Mr. Cross, kudos to you and your layout people. You got it. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. So well done. Okay, so charts and tables, nicely laid out. Very, very, very crisp and clean. Easy for these eyes to read. I think they'll be easier for you to read as well. Nothing is too busy. Nothing gets too detailed to the point where I'm like, is that a minus or a plus? I can't tell because there's so many things going on. You know, no, you're gonna have enough room to look at each item and know what it is without having to get out the magnifier. Well, and if you do have to get out the magnifier, well then cool, you know, good on you. So the art, let's talk about the art for a second. The art has improved and changed and been so fantastic. I mean, the old art was pretty fun. I enjoyed the old art for the Eldritch RPG, but this new art blows me away. Mr. Cross has had a lot of new art done for this game, and it is so gorgeous. It also follows a very very strong theme, and I kind of like that theme. I like the idea because what it is it's really focusing more on the fantasy elements of Einarif, which is the setting that the Eldritch RPG takes place in. Oh, that's what I get for all the different takes I've had to do with this in order to try to get it right without stumbling over my words. Okay. The other part of this is, so when you do back it and you get your PDF copy, which you will get, you know, relatively soon after backing, it is funded, what you're going to see is that this is the periphery game system. That's the rule set that runs this thing. And then the Eldritch RPG is the fantasy supplement of that using the world of Einarif. There's also a Viking-themed game, which uses the periphery system. And I believe that copies of that are available through the Eldritch RPG 2nd Edition Kickstarter. They might even be a free bonus, but don't quote me on that. What you want to do when you get in there, read the main page, and then also read the updates, because he's been making a lot of cool updates. And in those updates, you're going to find things like an adventure, a PDF, form fillable PDF for character sheet. That's going to making your characters a lot easier. You're going to find information about the other game systems and how to access that. Excuse me. Mr. Cross has been adding a lot of things that he has done in the past into this in order to make it a success. And I give him a lot of credit and a lot of praise for that, because he really has put his time and his treasure where his own desires and creations are. So I want you all to take a look at that and enjoy it. And don't take my word for it. Go and read the Kickstarter for yourselves. Go and read his words and decide if, when you read what he has to say about the game, if this is something that you will enjoy. If you're not sure and you want to see the game system in action, I have done previous videos on the Eldritch RPG. They are for the previous edition of the game, but the core kernels of the periphery system haven't changed that much between the previous edition and the second edition that we're kickstarting right now. He's kickstarting. I'm not involved in this. I'm just a backer. So you can go check those out and get an idea of how the system works. If I get the chance, within my busy schedule, I will try to, do another one, kind of updated video. We'll see. I won't promise that, but if I get the chance to, I'll try. There are 14 days left in the Kickstarter. It is 90% funded. This is where he is so close. He is so close to getting this done and seeing it get into print again. Let's give it to him, guys. Let's go for it. Let's that last little bit, we can do it. It will only take so many people, and it'll just push them right over the edge. So please take a look, see if you like it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to me. And if you liked this video, please if you enjoyed this video, please like it. Leave a comment down below. And subscribe to the channel for more content like this, more of my semi-casual, random self. There is very little editing that happens in this. Most of the time, if I don't get it right the first time, I delete the whole video and start over from scratch. So what you get is what you get. You get me. Thank you for your time and your attention. Please check this Kickstarter out. I think it will be worth your time. I think you will enjoy it. I'm looking forward to getting this book in my hands and showing it to my gaming group, and maybe running and maybe we'll really run a full a short campaign in this, because once my current campaign is done, I'm looking forward to running some shorter stuff. I don't want to spend years on games anymore. I want to start getting more things done. And playing in person, that'd be great. Ha! So, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by. I'll have a link to the Kickstarter in the description below for you to go ahead and take a look at. Please do. And Mr. Cross, this is for you. Well done. Let's get you there. Cheers. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.